vision, start the road is clear. The voice of the people is finally here. Newtown, are you ready to rise? Frigate Bay, open up your eyes. Taylors, we coming for the win. Bird Rock, let the change begin. Stop and think and look around. When last the leader really held it down. When last you had a voice that's true. It's been a long time coming through. We checking Natasha, checking. From the seaside up to the hill, Shady coming. With the power and the will, we checking Natasha, checking. The wait is over, the time is now. We bringing progress. We showing them how. No more neglect, no more delay. We moving forward with Natasha Gray. When last you get representation, when last you feel the celebration. But who is coming to take the lead? Shani, the one we need. We checking Natasha, checking. From the seaside up to the hill, Shani coming. With the power and the will.
It's 7 minutes after the hour of 11 o'clock right here in the studios of Freedom FM. And this is Vision Friday. Good morning and welcome to the first edition of Vision Friday right here on Freedom FM. A brand new 1 hour program brought to you by the People's Action Movement. This program is designed to create meaningful conversation about the issues affecting the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, whilst providing an opportunity for the People's Action Movement to share its vision, its policies and its plans for our federation. Our aim is to encourage thoughtful discussion, hear different perspectives, and give listeners a chance to better understand the ideas being presented. Today we'll be speaking with leader of the People's Action Movement, Natasha Shani Gray Brooks, about her journey into leadership, work she has been doing in the communities across the country, and her vision for St. Kitts and Nevis. Shani Gray Brooks, welcome.
Thank you, Jamie, and good morning to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, both here at home and also in the diaspora. I want to say a special good morning to my wonderful people in East Bastille.
Fantastic. Now, you are here this morning to tell us a little bit about your journey beyond the headlines, what you've been doing, how it has been feeling on the ground for you. So, you have been the leader for the People's Action Movement for quite some time now. Tell us how that leadership journey has been for you.
Well, being the leader of the People's Action Movement has been an exciting journey because you get to meet people. You get to look and observe what some of the challenges are for our people, not just in my community, but throughout the Federation. And when you can help to solve some of those problems, look at policy decisions which would improve people's life, to me, that gives me an exciting feeling. As an attorney at law, I was trained to help to solve problems. I may not be able to solve all the problems, but because some of the problems our people face are lived experiences, and as a daughter of the soil, it makes me very passionate knowing that I can make people's lives better. In my community, even before becoming the leader, I've been doing a number of programs, and so now I have been able to tell some of the new candidates what my experiences were, share with them things that we can do to help alleviate persons from out of the situations that they are. So once we are committed to our communities and hard work, we look out for each other. I look out for Jamie, not because Jamie wears a color shirt like mine, because Jamie is a Kittitian, Jamie is a resident of St. Kitts and Nevis. And so sometimes everything doesn't make headlines, and they wonder, what is Shani doing? And I don't mind when people call me Shani because that is a name that I am comfortable with.
It's who you are.
It's who I am. And I don't have a problem with that. But as I said, if people don't see things on social media, there's not something on the front of a newspaper, they say, well, Pam ain't doing nothing, Shani ain't doing nothing. We have been on the ground, communities by community. And when you hear the concerns of our citizens and residents, you get inspired that is my driving force, helping people of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Awesome. Now, you mentioned that you've been doing work for quite some time in East Bastia. You have a number of programs, a number of projects. Are you just concerned about the East? What about the rest of the Federation?
Well, to be honest, Jamie, East Bastia is at the center of what I can accomplish because they are the ones who will propel me to where I want to be. But it's not just East Bastia. As we look around the Federation, for years, you recognize that one seat cannot form a government. You need others. And so, as the leader, one time I made a joke and I said, I'm mother hen. You have to look after your children.
Definitely.
You have to make sure that when you rise, they rise with you. So I accompany Azad from time to time during his walkthroughs. I accompany Nubian. I accompany Natasha, our last announced candidate. I've been down in Sandy Point doing my walkthroughs, and I have been making sure that people throughout the Federation, not just in constituency number 1, understands that our plans are for everyone. That is why we want to be able to let persons know what the People First agenda is. Some months back, we spoke about making sure that some children get a cost of living gift. This cost of living gift is for all children going to secondary and tertiary education. So we have children from Virchilds in schools. We have children from Sadlers, Dieppe Bay, Newtown, Bird Rock, Frigate Bay, McKnight. And so my plan is not just to lift East Bastia, it is to lift St. Kitts and Nevis.
Now, it's easy for politicians to come on the radio and to speak about, the current administration and what's not going right. But what is your plan to make things better?
Well, we announced the People's First agenda. I think it was sometime back in August of last year. And the People's First agenda is a strategic plan to help shift governance in St. Kitts and Nevis. We have a number of pillars, and before I came up the steps just now, I met with Yellow from St. Peter's. Pineapples are very flourishing. We went through the COVID pandemic where food security became an issue. And so one of the things that we want from the People's Action Movement is to reclaim food security. We recognize that some of the farmers don't have the necessary resources that they need. And under the People's Action Movement, we want to establish a foundation to make sure that we are not competing with our farmers. We want to partner with them and help them grow. Provide low interest loans where necessary, modern equipment, high yield seeds, and so make sure that there is a rotation system where one farmer is going to grow a particular crop so that when his colleague is doing carrots, for example, he's doing potatoes, so that everyone has an opportunity to benefit. We want to ensure that there's a relationship with the farmers and the hotels, the farmers and the schools, the farmers and the supermarkets. And we must do that because I think over the years we have not paid enough attention to food security. So that's one of the things. We want to have a strong economy. Our economy is stagnant and we need to revitalize it. There must be things in place for the small businesses and the entrepreneurs. Make sure that we give them a particular boost to make sure that their overheads don't kill them and they're forced to close or send persons home. So that is one of the things that we need to do. We need to create a community where we can watch prices, where we will empower communities to monitor the price of goods and services and report price increases, ensure that there is full transparency so that there's a level playing field, not just for the businesses, but for the consumers. And so those are some of the things we want to do when we want to revitalize our economy. We also want to look at digital initiatives whereby we will invest in a robust digital infrastructure to attract tech startups and creative economy ventures so that persons can understand when I have a unique skill or talent or niche. It's not just sitting in a closet because no one is giving me the opportunity to become bankable, the opportunity to make sure that I can provide for my families. So that's one of the things. We also want to modernize our infrastructure. Right now, we have to admit that the nation's infrastructure, is the foundation of our economy and the quality of life. We must have a good quality of life. Water and electricity are bare essentials, and we must ensure that every Kittitian and Nivision, every citizen and resident has access to 24/7 water. We must foster accountability and transparency. That's one of the pillars. Make sure that we restore faith in public institutions. We need to engage with our citizens, not after the fact, but engage with them so that there are regular town hall meetings and public forums to ensure that citizens have a direct voice. And that is one of the things that we have been lacking. We hear a lot about diversification. Mm-hmm. What is happening now? Is it really diversification? Do we see it? Do we feel it? Do the persons who have that passion to make our local arts and crafts, do they have that feeling that they are benefiting from what we say is a sustainable island state? Is the economy diversified? We need to make sure that when we say local, the local benefits. When we say made in St. Kitts, the world recognizes that this new item is a brand from St. Kitts, and so that gives the people the opportunity. People's First Agenda is more than just a slogan, Jamie. It is a commitment to a new way of governing, and we will build St. Kitts with our people. We're not going to leave our Kittitians and Nivisions behind. And it's time for a government that works for the people, not against them.
So, people know you as a lawyer, and you are also the leader of the People's Action Movement, and many people know you as that as well. Mm-hmm. But who is the real Shani?
A wife, a mother of two children who are far apart in age.
Very far apart.
One is going to be 28 this year, August. Ooh. Can't
You're
even
aging yourself.
Nobody start calculating how old I am. And I have a 4-year-old daughter who's very demanding, very aggressive, and she thinks that she should not share mommy with anyone.
Wow.
But there's that balance. Mm-hmm. She understands that mommy loves her and mommy wants also to make life better for her. So with that in mind, if I can pull myself up out of circumstances and be successful, I think I can help others see a pathway through that. Now, I became a mother at 16. Some may ask, wow, I didn't know that.
That must have been difficult.
It was, but I finished high school when I was 15.
Okay.
So by that time I was working, but still under my mother's care. And so I felt, well, okay, I could do this. But during the time that I was pregnant, I pursued A-level law, and I also did economics out of school so that I can be able to put myself in a position to get my law degree. It took some time before going to study because I have a baby, and I had to make sure that if I have to leave him, he is in a good position. I thank those persons who helped me along the way, because if it were not for them, that support system, I would not be in a position to say, okay, I'm an advocate for the people. As a lawyer, it has also been a joy going away to study, coming back and helping the community. Everything is not about the dollars and cents. As an attorney, they help you, they encourage you to do pro bono services. And so when somebody has a domestic dispute, I am happy to help. When persons have a land issue, I am happy to help. When people have maintenance problems, family issues, I am happy to help. You help the families, you help the fathers get access to their children, the mothers help to maintain. And so it's a multifaceted approach as an attorney, because I deal with various aspects of the law. So I deal with the richest of the rich, the poorest of the poor. And it makes me so proud when I'm able to solve a problem. So some persons may say, well, Shani is not in government. She has not won her seat, but I share experiences, everyday experiences that people go through. I help to solve them in some way, shape, or form, whether it is through my legal work or even as a community activist, providing for school. Back to school is coming up just now. This year is going faster than I anticipated, and just now we're in August. Moms and dads are going to be preparing their children to go back to school, and I will do what I can help to help in my small part by providing school supplies. Christmas is a time when you should bring a smile on people's face. It's not every mom could afford it, and not every dad could afford it. The children they see a nice bike, they see a toy, and they want something to be able to put a smile on their face. And whatever I can do to help, I've been doing it even before being announced as a candidate, even before being the political leader of PAM. And those are some of the things that I share with my candidates. Give them ideas how we can help, because whatever we do under the People's Action Movement banner is by putting people first, and that is where we came up with the People First agenda.
Would you say that your experience, because your experience as a mother at the age of 16, going back to school could not have been easy, would you say that would shape the way you intend to govern?
Yes, I think we have to have people who are, well, if you're going to deal with people's struggles every day, you have to be committed. You have to be resilient. You have to be dedicated. You have to ensure that your heart is in it. And some persons, I'm not trying to bash anyone, but some persons got pregnant at 16 and then their life took a downward turn. I was able to look at my experience and shape a future for my first child. I recognized some of the things that I was unable to do for him, being a young mom, having to leave him at the age of 7. And I recognized, okay, if I'm to get any more children, I need to be in the best position. And so the experience of raising my son is totally different to raising my daughter. I went to the Childman's March last week, and it reminded me of how I used to struggle to get up as an employed person from music festival and have to go to March Friday morning with my son. Now I'm self-employed. It is kind of different, but it brought back memories that parents have to make sacrifices for their children, for their family. And as I said, a lot of what I do on a daily basis is experiences that I live every day. I go to the supermarket, and when the prices throw me back, I have to wonder, can I swipe my card? Because people are really having some challenges. So whether it is waking up in the next day after the music festival to go a match, having a little issue at the supermarket cashier because you don't know if you have to put back items, not being able to find a job, these are things that I am willing to help people navigate, because these are things I experienced, not experienced, experience now. And so people ask, does Shani have experience? I've experience in life. I have experienced a balancing an household, making sure that the salary earned can match up to all the necessary expenses. I have the experience, I'm not a doctor, but I have the experience of nursing wounds. I have the experience of kissing my children to sleep and telling them everything is going to be okay. I have the experience of sitting down at JNF, at the outpatients, and waiting hours. I don't have a nanny to drop my child to school. So I have the experience of not having flashers and driving and waiting until it's my turn to turn, and making sure that I have to reach, even though I'm self-employed, I have the court. So I have to make sure that I don't upset the judges by going to late, by going to work early. So I'm saying, okay, I'm going to say my age now. I'm 44 years old. I have 44 years of experience. Experience living in Newtown as a young girl. Experience growing up amongst quote-unquote criminals. Experience hearing the gunshots. Experience smelling the weed. And now I'm representing those persons, giving them an opportunity to defend their name. And so wherever I can fight for people, it's not just fighting for people because I want a photo up, or fighting for people because I want to say, well, okay, as a lawyer, she did that and she got paid. No, this is right where my office is the house on the right is where I grew up. And so it's nothing, my community is nothing strange to me. I work where I lived. I work amongst the people who I'm comfortable with. And so becoming a lawyer has not changed who I am. It's not something to say, well, yes, I'm proud because it's an accomplishment. But you should never forget where you came from, who you are, and what you should stand for. And that helps me to help people. And my motto has always been, JB, and I know, I think I've said it more than once, others. I learned this in Girl Guides. Others, Lord, let this my motto be. Help me to live for others, that I may live like thee. This is something that I have always try to demonstrate in whatever I do, because it's a great feeling just knowing that you have changed a life and a bad situation.
No, you are the leader of the People's Action Movement. You're the first female leader of a political party in St. Kitts. And it is your intention to become the Prime Minister of the Federation. Now, declaring that intention is a massive statement. Why should you be trusted with the highest office of the land?
I would not say that I am over ambitious, but I think that the country needs people who understand the needs of its citizens and residents. I am not going to tippy-toe around it. I am not going to say, oh, because I am a a newbie in this thing, that I'm going to let those who have experience beat their chest. I will say this without apology. You don't have to be a doctor to be a prime minister. We've had 4 prime ministers who carry the title doctor. Just as I have explained before, Jamie, a lawyer is a problem solver. Critical issues, multi-million-dollar issues, small issues, family issues, land issues, employment issues, always follow me since I've started to practice. And so I've had a wide array of problems to solve. I understand that, yes, experience is good, but it doesn't always have to be experience in government. It can be experience understanding the lives of others. And I think that, for me, is why, yes, okay, I made the bold statement. I want to be the first female prime minister. Some people have an issue with that. They do. One, because I'm a female.
Because you're a woman?
One, because I'm a female. And one, because they feel that, okay, she doesn't have any experience. She has not won a seat. Okay. Let's go back to the males. When the first prime minister became the prime minister, he had to understand, learn as he went along, and develop the necessary skills. And he proved that he was worth his salt. He led this nation for 15 years. Okay? But he was never a prime minister when he became the prime minister. Then came Dr. Douglas. He came in 1995, and he led for 20 years. So you have 15 and 20 years of 2 persons who were never prime ministers before. Then you had Dr. Harris. He did 7 years. And then now we have Dr. Drew, who's almost 4 years. None of them had experience before as prime ministers. None of them had experience in terms of cabinet experience until they won their seats. So some of what experience they have now, or things that they have under their belt, is as a result of learning on the job. Okay, some people learn on the job and make mistakes, but my job is in East Bastia, looking at the problems, looking at the unemployed, looking at persons who can't find homes that were promised. My job is accompanying Nubian in New Road and looking at some of the challenges that our people face. When a mom can tell you that she cannot feed her children, call you into her house and open the cupboard, and all you see is a can of corn and a tuna. That is part of my job. That is the experience, and I understand. When I walk in Connery and I hear the young boys who say that they have been unable to get jobs, persons are not answering their phones, that is part of my job, and that is how I learn and work and understand that these are the problems that our people face. These are the challenges that I will have, and will have to find creative ways to fix them and be able to uplift our people. So I am not going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize to say that I will be the next prime minister and that I will be the first female prime minister, because it sets a standard for our young girls. Our young girls who are they're fearful of taking risks, fearful of standing up to some of their peers, meaning other females, who may tell you can't do it because you are female. And they're also fearful of challenging men. You know, I am not going to say that the men have not done work for the country, because I don't want anyone to vote for me just because I am a female. I want people to understand that outside of being a female, I have years of experience. I've been working since I was 16. I'm now 44. I say it again. Maybe that's why I'm sweating, because I'm, past 40. But I'm saying that experience is not just in cabinet, because many of these ministers rely on the technocrats. A lot of people do the hard work and the ministers get praised for it. But I'm saying, if persons look at my accomplishments, if they look at the fact that I was able to overcome being a teenage mom, settling down, going away to study, leaving my son at home, coming back, working for some time as an attorney with another chambers, and then opening my own law firm from 2015. So I'm now 11 years practicing on my own. I have 3 staff and 3 members of staff that rely on me. So I understand that they too have challenges, that they too have expectations of me, that sometimes I will have to balance between what I should do for them, must do for them, and being able to hold back for myself, the same way I do for my children. So I understand a lot of challenges, and maybe people think that being a minister of government, a prime minister, is just being able to come and stand and talk in parliament and give a budget address. That really is not it, and maybe that's why some of them fail.
If you are just joining us at 11:38 here in the studios of Freedom FM, our guest today on Vision Friday is leader of the People's Action Movement, Natasha Shani Gray Brooks. So far, we have been discussing her leadership, her work in communities across the Federation, and her vision for the country's future. But I want to talk a little bit about the People's Action Movement, because this is the political organization you lead. Now, you became leader of the People's Action Movement during a period of rebuilding. Has that been challenging?
It has. I would say, because, and I'll be honest, I think that we could be at a better place. And so it's doing that balance, being able to rebuild, rebrand, be accepted, but at the same time remembering it's not just about you, it's not just about the party, it's about the small business that is on the brink of closing down. It's about the father who may be heading over to His Majesty's prison because he was unable to pay his maintenance because he's been unemployed. It's about the mother having to work 2 and 3 jobs and leaving her children at home. So at some time, you will have to say, okay, put a pause. I can't look at this particular policy at this point, because there are people out there in the communities that need you. Okay, I could use an example where I remember when I became the leader in 2024, I said by the end of my first year, I would like to announce all the candidates, because we want to give everybody time to know who they're voting for. We want to give candidates the opportunity to be able to do their work in the communities. But as I said, that was an ambitious statement. But then when you're rebuilding from an election defeat, when you're trying to build your profile, because the reality is, I'm not sure how many political parties there are right now, but
few.
At the time that I became the leader, there were 2 other political parties in St. Kitts. You had the Labour Party and the People's Labour Party. So here is Natasha Gray Brooks trying to lift herself to the standard of quote-unquote prime minister material with 2 persons who have already sat in that role. So you're going to have people comparing and contrasting. Well, Shani ain't know nothing about government, but I know about the people. Oh, she's never been in cabinet, but I know about the hardships. And so maybe as an electorate, that is what we need to look at. Do we look at a prime minister based on the fact it's Mr. this and Mr. that, or Dr. this and this, Dr. that? Or do we look at somebody who understands the needs and concerns of the people? Look at my track record. Look at my experiences, and you will say, my gosh, I never realized that, she experienced all these things. She did this. Maybe people think that, okay, being a lawyer was a easy road for me, or becoming a lawyer, it was an easy road for me. No, I did not have a scholarship. I took a loan from Development Bank, and when I journeyed to London, I knew no one, absolutely no one. When I got my loan, it only satisfied my tuition. So I left here on the 21st of September in 2007. By the 1st of October, I was working. The 1st of October. And don't think my job was no classy job. But every job is something that you can be proud of. I worked at McDonald's for 4 years while it's living in England. That helped to pay my accommodation and also to look after my son whilst I was away from him. So I say that to say that people don't understand the sacrifices made, the challenges that you go through, and the hurdles you overcome. And that is why maybe I need to speak a little bit more in terms of what my experiences are, because they are the experience of the mom in Frigate Bay, their experience of somebody in Molyneux, they are the experiences. So they'll say, she really went through what I went through. Okay. I don't think this is really, it's when I became the candidate. I became the candidate in 2021, Jamie. And I thought I had 4 years. I thought I had 4 years. So I said, well, elections is 2025. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do this. I had my plan, people who I'm going to approach to help me to get my structure in place and so forth. Meanwhile, I was pregnant. No one knew I was pregnant, but I continued because I had 4 years. Then, well, we had COVID started, I think, about 2020. Whilst I thought COVID was coming to an end, during my seventh month of pregnancy, I had COVID. I got COVID, and I was hospitalized for 40 days. Mm-hmm. In the strongest, weakest moment of my life, I had to make a decision when I recognized the unity construct was crashing. Are you still going to do this? Because I recognized by March, I'm in the hospital in January. By March, based on information shared with me, we would be heading into campaign mode. And I believe in God. I prayed. Even when the nurses came and tried to get my daughter's heartbeat and would not find it, but I know I could still feel her inside of me. I asked God, is this something that I should be doing in this situation on oxygen? Should I still put myself forward to the people, knowing that a possible election will be happening? And I got the word to go ahead. I got the word to go ahead, and I came out the hospital. I was on sick leave for some time until about February, because COVID left you with a kind of deady feeling. And then being pregnant, in my last trimester, I had an extra deady feeling. And by March 13th, that was a convention like no other. And I think by then, the public understood that Team Unity was not really going to be much longer. And Jamie, from getting out of the car that I was chauffeured in to the stage, I don't know where I got that energy to walk from that car as if like I am the newly announced candidate who's not pregnant.
And didn't just have COVID.
And didn't just have COVID. And by the next week, I have my daughter. So I say all that to say is like the sacrifices that we make must be real and genuine. And people must understand that it's not your... For me, I'm not doing anything to say I want props or I want a title. I'm doing this because I think I have the know-it-all, the ways to go through hurdles and mazes to help people. Because as I will keep on saying it, I have lived a lot of the experiences. And after getting my daughter on the 22nd of March, 2022, by the end of April, I was out on the road campaigning. I'm thankful for my husband because he has really been a show of support. And even in challenges that I face daily, he is still very supportive. And for that, I am very thankful, because if you don't have a support base, sometimes people will think, okay, somebody's just winging it. I am not winging it. I am trying to navigate a number of the experiences that I face as an individual and seeing how best I can help persons. So being a candidate, being the leader, it comes with challenges. But for me, the end result, hearing the cries and the concerns of people, seeing that there is hope beyond the horizon, it gives me the impetus to push on.
Now, you've spoken a lot about your vision, your people first vision. What do you believe the People's Action Movement represents today? And how has it evolved from the party that maybe some people remember or maybe some people have heard about, right? So what are your views on that?
Well, I think one thing that has remained center for the People's Action Movement that has not changed is the people. I can remember all of my years under the People's Action Movement administration was when I was in school. But I can remember going to the constituency office of Michael Powell to collect school supplies. I can remember my grandmother dealing with a number of community matters in terms of helping persons with their domestic situations, and her hearing the praise that either she got or her representative got for helping to make life better. That is something that I saw in 2015 to 2022, where the People's Action Movement was the major party in that construct. I saw that. You saw people getting help whether it is the roofing program, whether it is the PEP, whether it is the PAP, you understood that that is something. The People's Action Movement is always about helping people and building their building their status. You drive through the roads right now, yes, some of them may have gotten a little damaged and so forth, but you see the infrastructure. When you look down at Port Zante, you see the infrastructure. I went to Nevis yesterday afternoon and I drove on the southeast. You see that. So the People's Action Movement is not just about helping people, but about making sure that there is lasting infrastructure, lasting opportunities for our people. And that is something that I think still remains. The players have changed, but the policy of the People's Action Movement, by making sure that people are always at the center and at the forefront, has remained. And so while some people who are maybe in their 20s or late 30s may not have known about the People's Action Movement administration, if we tell our story more often, they would understand, wow, this is the vision that a party like that can do for our people in St. Kitts. When I look at what behind the post office used to be when I was a teenager, I can remember sometimes after exam revenge, me and my friends would go to the back of the post office to lime. The water was almost there.
No, it was there.
So you
Literally
see,
there.
you see vision. Now you have big cruise ships coming. A second cruise ship pier was built. And so that is vision. Now, I took the water taxi yesterday, 6 minutes to Nevis. But if there was not, if we didn't have that road to drive over there to Reggae Beach, the vision of Sir Kennedy, then I would have to take a normal ferry. And I am very happy that all the persons who had the unfortunate experience this week with the apple cider are okay. But for me, I had options. Do I want to go through that experience of wondering what could happen, or do I want to minimize the risk? Dr. Simmons, school is going to close just now, but some of the children are benefiting from the school meals, and so that is something. But when school reopens in September, you have the books, the self program. As I said, I benefited from that back in the 80s and 90s. So I understand. Whatever I do, don't forget the people. Because these are the same people that we go knocking on their doors, asking for a vote. And so you must always recognize that there is value in every voter, value in every citizen, because some persons, for religious reasons or otherwise, don't vote. But you can't say, because Karen is a Jehovah's Witness and she's not voting, Karen is not entitled to get a house for her family. We must recognize, and I think over the past years, especially recent times, this administration has drifted from the people. It is time to refocus, and the refocusing of our government administration can't be what is currently happening. It can't be using those same players either. And I'm going to say it again. You don't have to be a doctor to be a prime minister. You don't have to have been in cabinet before to have experience. When I go down the steps, when I'm finished here, Jamie, there's going to be an experience because I see it every day, every single day. And my heart bleeds at times. I can go through so many stories, but sometimes you have to be very careful because you don't want to disclose too much information to make people feel, well, okay, I told a politician that in confidence. But or even if it's not in confidence, I didn't want my story to be shared because people will be able to recognize it is me. We have to do better for our people. We have to make sure that the standard of living is lifted. In 2026, we shouldn't have a mother with a pot on a bed when rain comes. Luckily or unluckily, we don't have as much rain right now. But what if we get a hurricane? What if we get a hurricane and something happens? Where is she going to go with her 2 children? Some of our community centers are not even accessible at this time. But as I said, Jamie, hope is on the horizon, and I'm willing to lead that charge.
Now, you've spoken a lot about your experiences and how that will shape your leadership because these experiences are not foreign to you. These are the experiences that, the ordinary citizen would face. Now, there are many people who are of the view that, politicians make promises during campaign time and they say a lot of things that, sound good, make you feel like you are actually one of us. Why? But, many times those promises are not fulfilled. Many times you forget us after you enter office. So why should the people believe your commitments?
I am a woman of my word. I've been victim of some of those failed promises.
I think we all have been.
I know how it feels. And I truly believe, do unto others as you will have them do unto you. Now, that might sound fancy and nice because somebody might say, oh, she only saying that because she wants us to vote for her. Before politics, I have done a number of community projects, been involved, so much so I was part of the East Bastille. We used to call it back then East Bastille Festival. I can remember at one time, and I laughed from time to time. I can remember one time because I think I may have been about 18 or so. There was this group called Youths on the Go. And I remember doing cleanup, having fundraisers and stuff. And it's only after I realized it was a political group. I drew myself away from it because I just wanted to do something to help the community.
And you didn't realize.
I didn't realize we were a political group. So, and I used to go meetings. To be honest, I think I had a position. I think I remember signing something down in the bank for the bank account. I think so. But I'm saying I am not doing this for Shani. If I can be in a position where the doctor at the COVID ward said to me, you are in the miracle room. And being in a miracle room, in my mind, he didn't want to say it, was close to death's door. And I am still thinking about the people. And I came out and I did my best in the difficult circumstances and pushed forward for the people. politicians normally get accused. Sometimes it's right and sometimes it's wrong.
Many times it's right. Let's just call a thing.
Only coming around after election,
Yes.
around election time.
Yes.
The elections of 2022, as I said, it was very abnormal. But during November, I started to feel the effects. I started to get tired because, as I said, I was pregnant, COVID, and went into election. So it started to kick in November, like, I need to get some rest. I really need to just take some time off. And I went away with my daughter. But after I caught back myself, 2023, get my office organized and everything, I was back on the road. So when some people going around with, let's say, 20 people and they take some pictures, that's when they're going around. But Shani, has been on the road without an election pending. Canvassing and campaigning is totally different to 20 years ago. So now you have to take pictures to show people that you were on the road.
That you actually did it, yes.
But I'm saying, like, and that is why sometimes people will say, well, Pam may see Pam, may hear Pam ain't doing nothing. Because we don't always have a videographer or photographer. We don't have access to state funds to do that. So, yes, you would want to see quality photos and that kind of thing. But not seeing it on social media doesn't mean that it's not happening. Persons within my community could attest to the fact that I've been around. Like, I remember one lady said, but you're early. Problems have been existing. And so it's best to get an idea from the people. What are the concerns? So you could shape policies for them. The people should shape our manifesto. You just can't put in things in a manifesto that you feel would benefit the country without consulting. And so sometimes when you see things, well, in our manifesto, I can't speak about anybody else's. In our manifesto, it will be guided by discussions that we had with the people. So whatever we do is people-centered, people-focused, people-driven, and I think our approach to a number of things will show people this is not just about a politician trying to win an election. This is a leader with a team who are focused on the people, who have taken what we said into consideration and is trying to deliver on behalf of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Now, Ms. Graybrook, Shani, we've covered a wide range of topics today, from your journey into leadership and your vision for the People's Action Movement and your plans for the future of St. Kitts and Nevis. As we wrap this inaugural edition of Vision Friday, I'd like to give you the opportunity to speak directly to the people of the Federation. What's your closing message for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis? What would you like them to remember most about your vision and your commitment to serve the country?
Thank you. I will repeat, Jamie, the People First agenda, it is not a slogan. It is a promise. It is the vision for St. Kitts and Nevis. Whatever we do must be driven by the people. We have convention coming up on the 19th of July, and it is going to be powered by the people because they are the future. Tomorrow, I have a meet and greet in East Bastia, and because I am so concerned about the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, although it's being held in East Bastia, it's open to all constituencies. I'm not going to run away anyone. Come and have a discussion. Come and meet members of the team. Come and just socialize. This is what we are about. We are about embracing. We are about understanding the issues of our people, and we're about making sure that the people of St. Kitts and Nevis are always at the forefront and they are not left behind. We don't plan to leave people behind. We have hope in not just our citizens and residents, hope in their skills, hope in their talents, hope for the future, and that hope is the People's Action Movement.
That brings an end to the first edition of Vision Friday right here on Freedom FM, sponsored by the People's Action Movement. A sincere thanks to our guests, People's Action Movement leader Natasha Shani Gray Brooks, for joining us and sharing her perspectives on the issues facing the Federation and her vision for the future of Nevis. Thank you as well to everyone who tunes in. We appreciate your company, and we invite you to join us again next Friday for another edition of Vision Friday right here on Freedom FM.
One last, the leader really held